Welcome back to Castle Sports Talk. My name is Mr. Junior. I'm here with Big Z in the building. You feel me? He's reading a book, just got out of school. He'll be here chilling while I break down the question on did the Chargers have a bad free agency? The draft didn't happen yet, right, Z? So we only have the free agency portion of the offseason to talk about, but it's a big part of just the whole offseason in general and where your team is at going into the season because rookies can only do so much at the end of the day. So, did the Chargers have a bad free agency? I'm going to be talking about different points and hopefully what is a 10-minute video. But the Chargers went into the offseason, I think, with about after the Joey Bosa cut in $90 to $100 million in cap space. We could compare that to other teams that had similar money um, going into free agency, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So give me a second to share my screen, and we're going to go on to this cap tracker on a website that I really like, Spot Rack. So if you look at the cap space right now, you got Chargers with $37 million in cap space remaining. And then you still have teams like the Patriots who had an overload of money. They went into like free agency with like $130 million. Bless you. And they have 72 million left. I guess supposedly it doesn't feel like it with all the money they spent. So the Chargers are at seventh, right? And we still only have 63 active players, so we have a lot more work to do. I want to say with the first thing is Rashawn Slater's extension. Rashawn Slater will 99.99% chance be extended this offseason. This year, he's set to make $19 million on his rookie option, fifth-year rookie option. He'll probably be making somewhere between $25 to $30 million in this extension per year. So we have to account that. No, that won't go into effect until next season. So honestly, for this year is set in stone, $19 million a year in cap space. And we're just not going to go crazy with the spending because we just, even though it's going to be taken to effect next year, Rashawn Slater signing is just very important. And we don't want to get too reckless with the money, knowing we have Rashawn Slater to sign and to, build the offense around. And then I also want to talk about Herbert. Just kind of rewinding to a couple of years ago where he did sign his big contract. He's earning about, well, this probably isn't the best place to look at it. We're going to go to active contracts and look at average salary per year. Justin Herbert is making $52.5 million per year. And he's making less than Tua. He's making less than Jared Goff. He's making less than Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, and Dak Prescott. That's a lovely contract, right? To be a better quarterback than those others quarterbacks, but to be making less money. And I just think that's a lovely spot to be in. And even though he is making more annually than Patrick Mahomes, you know what I mean? He's just, I think him making $52 million a year, I think we're at a great spot with that. So we got Slater and Herbert. All right, let's get that out the way. Those are our cornerstones in our offense. Now, I just want to compare a couple contracts that were given out this offseason with other teams and compare it to what the Chargers did. Joshua Palmer, right, went to the Buffalo Bills. And he's making, I think, about $11 million per year. Joshua Palmer, he's a good wide receiver. We drafted him in the third round out of Tennessee 4 years ago. Good receiver, but the question is, what is he? Right after 4 years, what is he best at? What is his best skill in the NFL? And we signed Mike Williams. And even though I don't think Mike Williams is a better receiver than Joshua Palmer, he just fits better with this team. Like, was Joshua Palmer a slot for us? Was he an outside receiver? Was he, a bigger receiver at like 6'2"? Was he a small receiver, quick guy? Not really. I mean, his 4 years, we just couldn't find something he was really good at. Maybe he's good at being your fourth or 3B receiver that can come in a pinch and produce. But other than that, his role was undefined and wasn't really compatible with what McConkey gave us and his entrenched role and what the team needed in general. I think he'll be good in Buffalo, I'm sure, but Williams propels this offense and McConkey just to a higher degree. Williams is the pure outside guy, makes big catches on the outside, and I think that's just going to free up Quentin Johnston to be at his best, wherever that may be, and McConkey to be more of a slot receiver, where I think he could do outside, but with Joshua Palmer, it just doesn't work as well than with Mike Williams. Joshua Palmer got $11 million a year. Mike Williams, all right, hopefully it just pops up here. Mike Williams is making $3 million a year. $3 million a year. Are we saving money? Yes, we're saving money on a player that fits better for us. And let me just talk to the camera here. Stop sharing my screen. Where teams mess up their whole free agency is by throwing money around. Everybody knows that something that could deflate a team is just throwing money around on all these different players. And the Chargers, we should be happy about their patience. We should be happy about these low ball deals on these like average players. We should be happy about that because we're not recklessly spending money like the Patriots, who are just throwing money around to all these players that may or may not fit. We've seen what they did, what Joe Ortiz and Jim Harbaugh did last year with giving all these bunch of, I don't want to say scrubs, but guys that were outcasted from their team and guys that, have been struggling with injuries and just giving them a bunch of one-year contracts. We specifically picked out guys and it worked great for us. So why wouldn't we continue that same mindset just at a slightly higher scale with the more money we have this year and continue that process and mindset? So we should be happy about their patience because that's what could be detrimental to your team is by reckless spending. And that's exactly what we're not doing. So let me go back to sharing my screen, and I want to compare another player in Poona Ford. Let me just share my screen. Dang, how do I share? I just did it. Present. Oh, okay. Share screen. All right, so let's look at Poona Ford. He's making, I think he signed, I want to say a 3-year $1 million deal, but it was a $10 million a year. So just about almost $9 million a year. Signed a, like a $3 million, three-year deal, $10 million. We signed Teair Tart for, I think, a 1-year, $4 million deal. Yep, 1-year, $4 million deal. We got the cheaper player and probably, a guy that's going to give us equal value. Maybe not, but Teair Tart is no peon. And we also got Da'Shawn Hand from the Chargers. I hope I spelled his name right. I don't think I spelled his name right. Da'Shawn Hand, boom. 1-year deal, $2 million a year. And then we got Taekwon Jones. Taekwon, man. Taekwon Jones. No. We got the defensive tackle. Let me try to look for his name here. Yep, Jones. For I think $2 million a year, even though I couldn't find him. So if you add up Teair Tart, Da'Shawn Hand, and Taekwon Jones' annual salary for this year, it's less than what Poona Ford alone is making. Poona Ford might be a better player than all those, but what's the smarter? What would you rather for your team? 3 players or Poona Ford, right? I like Taekwon Jones, who's a really good tackler. Got a bunch of, I think, 4 sacks last year for the Cardinals as an interior defensive lineman. Da'Shawn Hand, who's a known run stuffer in the league. And Teair Tart, who did good for us last year already. I'd rather those 3 guys than one guy. I think they're all equal and less than what Poona Ford is making, which is just like genius. I think what we did with Mike Williams, we big-brained the Mike Williams contract. Like we let him walk, go to the Jets and go to the Steelers for all this money just to have him come back for $3 million. Like, we really big brained that. And I think he's going to be a big contributor for our team. Where you look at Marquise Valdes-Scantling, whatever you say his name, Marquise Valdes-Scantling, he signed for more than Mike Williams, $4 million a year. Give me Mike Williams over Scanlon all day, every day. Like, that was just a brilliant move. And obviously, the move that I didn't talk about, Najee Harris. We got the best running back in free agency, and Najee Harris for $5 million a year. This guy completely changes what we were as a running team last year because he's healthier. He is a big bruiser, which is what we wanted in Gus Edwards. And he could catch the ball better than J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards could. And we got him for $5 million. I don't know what J.K. Dobbins is going to sign for, but Najee Harris is the better player. And even though J.K. Dobbins probably won't get $5 million a year, he'll probably get $3 million. I'd rather have Najee at $5 million than J.K. Dobbins at like $3 million. So just those moves are really good. I want to talk about our offensive lines. Let me just take it off screen share. And mind you, I'm going to be looking at my phone over some notes. I just want to quickly get these ideas out. And I also want to compare Nick Neiman's contract to Troy Dye, special teams guys. But Nick Neiman got a lot more money than our guy Troy Dye did. And I wouldn't give Nick Neiman the contract he got with, I forget who it was, maybe the Rams. But Nick Neiman got, I think, like $6 million a year. That's a special teams guy. That's just not worth it. We, again, made the right decision by signing Troy Dye at a cheaper contract. The NFL isn't the NBA where you sign the best guys in the market and you automatically become a finals team. You book your ticket to the finals. The NFL isn't like that at all. On the contrary, like, there was a big stat, like no team went to the Super Bowl, I think, ever, except for the Patriots, with a player that was making the most at their position. Period. Other than Gronkowski. Gronkowski was making the most at the tight end position, and they still won the Super Bowl. No team ever won a Super Bowl by having a player that makes the most at their position. You deflate your team by throwing money out there recklessly. We didn't sign T. Higgins. We didn't sign Chris Godwin. We didn't sign Cooper Kupp. We didn't sign Devontae Adams. We should be happy about that. We should be. But instead, we got Mike Williams at $3 million a year. Like, come on now. I want to talk about offensive line. We signed Mekhi Becton. That guy we gave money to. We gave him $10 million a year, but still only 2 years, $10 mil. That's a steal. So we got Joe Alt, Zion Johnson, Bradley Bozeman, or Andre James, a new signing, Andre James from the Raiders, Mekhi Becton, and Rashawn Slater. So I think I put Joe Alt in the left tackle side. Joe Alt right tackle, Rashawn Slater left tackle. We got Trey Pipkins, who wasn't really good as a guard last year, but his year 2 as a guard. He was a career tackle, went to guard for our need, and it's a year 2 guard. So he's going to, I think, improve maybe even exponentially because this is going to be a second year as a guard. I think Bradley Bozeman, year 2 under Harbaugh, is going to get better. And I think Andre James is going to add stability to our center group. Instead of having to throw Bradley Bozeman out there because we have to, we have Andre James, and we're also going to play Zion Johnson in the center position. Maybe have Sawyer try for guard. And we are going to draft a rookie guard, top 3 rounds. Book it. We're going to draft a rookie guard, so add that guy into the mix. We have a better off. And Joe Alt, year 2. Don't sleep on year 2, Joe Alt. He was great as a rookie, but that's his rookie year. Imagine year 2. He's going to make that big jump, and we will have a better offensive line room than we had last year. Comp picks. Comp picks are going to be great for Ortiz and Harbaugh, who Ortiz is a historically good drafter, and Harbaugh, who knows so many people in the football world and in college. Those comp picks and is going to be vital. So we got, I think, 3 comp picks, and we have all our 7 picks. So we have essentially 10 picks, barring any sudden changes. And that we're going to see those rookies become so good next year. And it's going to be like, we're going to understand how free agency really isn't what's going to win us playoff games. It's going to be our drafts and our, like who I began talking about, our best players like Herbert and Slater and Derwin James and McConkey. We need those guys staying healthy, those guys being what they are. And it's not about all the signings of all these, just players you're just throwing money at, like Stephon Diggs, $23 million a year for 3 years. Get out of here. And it's going to be about our pillars and our draft picks and signing good depth pieces and role players. It's not about using all our money. It really isn't. So did the Chargers have a bad free agency? No, I beg to differ. I think we had a very smart one where we big brained a lot of moves, used money wisely. And we're going into the draft, I think, without a real need. When you're not picking inside the top 10, you should really set yourself up to draft BPA. We signed Tyler Conklin. We don't need a tight end first round. I want to go cornerback first round. I really want Will Johnson first round. I think that would just elevate our defense to great heights. But we don't need cornerback. I would also like offensive line first round. With Mekhi Becton, we don't need that. I would like wide receiver first round, but I really don't like, other than McMillan, I don't like Ebuke, Matthew Golden, Isaiah Barnes. I don't like that. So I want to go wide receiver, maybe third round or second round, maybe get a Jaden Higgins, Elik Ayumaner, Savon Williams. But even if we did want to go Matthew Golden, we don't need to, right? Because we have McConkey, Mike Williams, and Quentin Johnston. That doesn't sound great. I get it. But we're going to add a rookie in there. And we went into the playoffs with Quentin Johnston last year. We went into the playoffs with Quentin Johnston and McConkey, and I think we should have won that game if it wasn't for that pick six that Herbert, I think, slightly overthrew McConkey. McConkey had to jump, went right through his hands. And from there on, we fell apart. But I think we had a chance to win that game. And I do think we have a better team. I think we're using our money wisely. We're going to re-sign Rashawn Slater. We have our pillars. We signed a bunch of depth pieces like Dante Jackson, cornerback out of the Steelers, playmaker, Benjamin St-Juste, 2 cornerback from the Commanders, good tackler. And we signed Dante Jackson I think $4 million a year. Are you kidding me? Benjamin St-Juste, $2 million a year. And let's just take a look at our depth chart. Let me share my screen before I end this video. Let's just take a look at the Chargers depth chart. We got Justin Herbert, who I think is going to be better year 2 under Greg Roman. Najee Harris, who I think is better than J.K. Dobbins. Gus Edwards combined, because Gus Edwards didn't do anything for us. Ladd McConkey, I think Mike Williams opens up McConkey and Quentin Johnston in the way Joshua Palmer couldn't have. Darius Davis as a more is building on, hopes to build on what he did last year. Had a couple big plays. I think our and McConkey year 2. I think our wide receiver room is better than last year. We have Will Dissly. Tyler Conklin is essentially what Hayden Hurst was supposed to be last year, but Hayden Hurst was struggling with injuries. Tyler Conklin never struggled with injuries. So even though I think Hayden Hurst and Conklin are the same level player, Conklin is a healthier player. We have a better tight end room than last year. Rashawn Slater, Zion Johnson, who I think will improve, Bradley Bozeman, who I believe will improve with more security, with a good backup and decent backup in Andre James, who is a better pass blocker. Bozeman's more of the run blocking type. But Mekhi Becton, that is the guy right there. 6'7", 360 pounds. Next to Joe Alt, who's 6'8", 330. Are you kidding me? And Trey Pipkins, who's going year 2 as a guard. We still have Jamari Sawyer. We're going to sign another guard in the draft. Pipkins is also a swing tackle, so he's essentially our swing tackle as well. So he's going to be in if Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt ever go out with injury, who's a good swing tackle. Yes, he's getting overpaid, but he's still vital to this team. right? And we have all this money to throw out, right? Why not? Why would we release Trey Pipkins? I think in every level of our offense, we've improved. Call me crazy, but I think we've improved. We have T.R. Tart, who we re-signed, Naquan Jones, Deshaun Hand, and I think these three guys will bring the same level of performance that Poona Ford will bring to the Rams. A Big B, I hope he could show up when he didn't last year. Tuli Tuipulotu will be a full-time edge rusher. Joey Bosa he didn't play enough last year, and it's like just let him go and let Tuli be the guy. We have Tuli, Khalil Mack, Bud Dupree. We're probably gonna get a edge, maybe first or second round. I either want cornerback or edge first round. Cornerback or edge. Give me a cornerback or edge. So we might draft edge first round. Our edge room is about the same, but I think Tuipulotu will make that jump. Our edge room is about the same, and I think we were top 5 in sacks last year. Top 5 in sacks. Like, come on now. We have a good edge room. Daiyan Henley, I don't know if he made the Pro Bowl, but he should have. We brought back Denzel Perriman on a cheap deal. I wish I could have, in this video, compared some linebacker contracts, but that's not really as exciting. We have a good linebacker room. Junior Colson will be healthy. I think we're going to have a better linebacker room than we did last year. I just really want one more guy for that linebacker room. One more guy, whether it be like if we draft a linebacker, I just trust Harbaugh and Ortiz to know what they're doing. And if we draft a linebacker, I'm pretty sure he's going to fit into this room nicely. Linebacker, we probably didn't get better, but Daiyan Henley's going to be a better player. I just wish we could have added one more guy. We had no Junior Colson last year, so maybe we will get better because Junior Colson is like our addition. Junior Colson is essentially our free agent addition who didn't play last year. We got Dante Jackson, who's going to replace Asante Samuel. Well, I think Benjamin St-Juste is replacing Asante Samuel. Dante Jackson is just replacing Fulton, I forget his name. But Benjamin St-Juste, who's a much better tackler than Asante Samuel. Dante Jackson, who is a big playmaker, going to get us some intos. We have Cam Hart, Tarheeb Still. We still have Jazir Taylor, and we still have Dean Leonard. Our cornerback room, I think, has improved from last year. We brought back guys like Elijah Molden. We didn't release guys like Alohi Gilman. We still got Derwin James. We brought back Tony Jefferson. Our safety room is still strong. Man, we got better. And watch when the draft comes. Did we get better? Did the Chargers have a bad free agency? No. I think we had one of the best. And we still got all this money to re-sign Rashawn Slater and to add some more guys if we really, really want to, because free agency is basically all offseason long. Even into the season, we could sign in-season additions. So call me a homer, man. Oh, by the way, opening season day. Shout out Boston Red Sox. Even though I love the Chargers, as a guy living from Boston, I don't think I'm being too optimistic because I'm a Chargers fan. I think I'm being pretty realistic, and we should be happy in our patience this free agency. We should be happy with the guys that we did bring in and the fit. We should be happy with how we spent our money compared to similar guys that got a lot more money. And we should really trust our general manager, Joe Ortiz, and our head coach, Jim Harbaugh, to really draft the right guys. We should look for jumps from Joe Alt, Trey Pipkins, Mekhi Becton upgraded this room so much. Najee Harris. We had a good free agency, if you ask me. What, did you guys want Devontae Adams for $22 million a year? Is that what you really wanted? I don't think that's what we needed. I think Mike Williams for $3 million a year, I think you can't be mad at that. I think we're gonna pick up a guy in the draft and wide receiver, and we made the playoffs last year with the worst roster, and what I think was the worst roster. So I'm really excited for the year 2025 for the Chargers, and yeah, watch out for more videos upcoming. I might break down the Patriots free agency just because I'm from Boston. I'm definitely gonna do a mock draft for the Chargers. I'm gonna bring my guy Fields, a good friend of mine, really knows his ball, to talk football here. And yeah, looking forward to Talking to you guys soon. Peace out. Bye. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right. Peace out. Bye.